Shemot, chapter 12.
And YHWH spoke unto Moshe and Aharon in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months, it shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak you unto all the assembly of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to their fathers' houses, a lamb for a household. And if the household be too little for a lamb, then shall he and his neighbor next unto his house take one, according to the number of the souls, according to every man's eating, you shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year, you shall take it from the sheep, or from the goats. And you shall keep it unto the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of Israel shall kill it at dusk. And they shall take of the blood, and put it on the two side posts and on the lintel, upon the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, with bitter herbs, they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water. But roast with fire its head with its legs, and with the inwards thereof. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, but that which remains of it until the morning, you shall burn with fire. And thus shall you eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And you shall eat it in haste, it is YHWH's Pesach. For I will go through the land of Egypt in that night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgments, I am YHWH. And the blood shall be to you for a token, upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and there shall no plague be upon you to destroy you, when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to YHWH throughout your generations, you shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread, howbeit the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day, there shall be to you a set-apart convocation, and in the 7th day, a set-apart convocation, no manner of work shall be done in 'em, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done by you. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your hosts out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall you observe this day throughout your generations, by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, you shall eat unleavened bread, until the 21st day of the month, at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eats that which is leavened, that soul shall be cut off from the assembly of Israel, whether he be a sojourner, or one that is born in the land. You shall eat nothing leavened, in all your habitations shall you eat unleavened bread. Then Moshe called for all the elders of Israel, and said unto them, Draw out, and take you lambs according to your families, and kill the Pesach lamb. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning. For YHWH will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he sees the blood upon the lintel, and on the two side posts, YHWH will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. And you shall observe this thing for an ordinance, to you and to your sons, forever. And it shall come to pass, when you be come to the land which YHWH will give you, according as he has promised, that you shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean you by this service? That you shall say, it is the sacrifice of YHWH's Pesach, for that he passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians, and delivered our houses. And the people bowed the head and worshipped. And the children of Israel went and did so, as YHWH had commanded Moshe and Aharon, so did they. And it came to pass at midnight, that YHWH smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he, and all his servants, and all the Egyptians. And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moshe and Aharon by night, and said, Rise up. Get you forth from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go, serve YHWH, as you have said. Take both your flocks and your herds, as you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people, to send them out of the land in haste. For they said, We are all dead men. And the people took the dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moshe, and they asked of the Egyptians jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And YHWH gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they let them have what they asked. And they despoiled the Egyptians. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Sukkot, about 600,000 men on foot, beside children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks, and herds, even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes, of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened because they were thrust out of Egypt, and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the sojourning that the children of Israel sojourned in Egypt, was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that all the host of YHWH went out from the land of Egypt. It was a night of watching unto YHWH, for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This same night is a night of watching unto YHWH, for all the children of Israel, throughout their generations. And YHWH said unto Moshe and Aharon, This is the ordinance of the Pesach, there shall no alien eat thereof. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when you have circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. A sojourner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. In one house shall it be eaten, you shall not carry forth aught of the flesh, abroad out of the house, neither shall you break a bone thereof. All the assembly of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with you, and will keep the Pesach to YHWH, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, but no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. 1 Torah shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourns among you. Thus did all the children of Israel, as YHWH commanded Moshe and Aharon, so did they. And it came to pass the selfsame day, that YHWH did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their hosts.